Yo, 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 yo. So, it's a hot afternoon here in Japan, and I'm just taking a little break after lunch, drinking some coffee, as I always like to do. So I thought I'd have a little Q&A today. I don't have anything planned to talk about, so this is just a pure Q&A. You can ask me anything about ecom, Facebook ads, product research development, anything under the sun you want to ask me. I'll do my best to answer. So yeah, this is a pure Q&A. So this is driven by you, because I want to make sure I'm giving you the value that you're looking for, not just me always coming to you and presenting ideas. You know, sometimes it's good to get the feedback from you and what you're looking for, what you want to know about. So go ahead. Yeah, I got about 10-15 minutes. I can do this particular chat. So let's start digging in. All right. So we got Chris Simpson, Phil, Stefan. Yes. Okay. So the first question is, do you recommend retargeting by yourself or using an app such as Retarget? Okay. I absolutely do not recommend retargeting with any of those apps like Retargeting app or Shoelace, or I haven't used those type of apps for so long. I'm sure that there's about 20 others now. There's one called Kit. There's a couple reasons why I don't recommend them. Number one is just capability, right? I mean, they basically just retarget your visitors. If you are running your own product feed, you can do all sorts of different retargeting. You can do retargeting by 3 days, then do another retargeting by 7 days, retargeting by 10 days. You can mix things up and offer different discounts throughout the entire process. You can say people who visited my site didn't purchase between 1 and 3 days, and then 4 and 7 days, and 8. Plus, you could do cross sells, right? For example, right? You could, upsell. So, if someone bought, you can do a DPA ad to them, offering an upsell of some sort, which I do a lot. So, there's a lot more capability, right? Just controlling it yourself offers a huge amount more of capability than just the simple apps can do. That's from a ad effectiveness point of view, okay? But there's also a potential serious problem, and it doesn't occur on all themes. And if you do some tweaking in the code and stuff, sometimes it can be fixed, sometimes it cannot be fixed. Depends on situations. But this is a problem that can happen, okay? And I'm about to bring up this problem in a second. And before I say this problem, I want you to understand, these retargeting app companies, they have the best of intentions, okay? So I'm not being critical of them saying that they're deliberately doing this, because they're not. But it's an inherent weakness of the system that they have to use to make these apps work, okay? And this can be a problem in some cases, not on all cases, but I've seen it on one of my old stores back in 2015. And that is, because I actually tested one of those apps. I wanted to see how it worked. I thought it might be easier just to do it that way. What happened was, and this problem persists today, even though they try to solve it. So they install a secondary Facebook pixel on your store. So you now have 2 Facebook pixels, right? So you have your standard pixel that you have on your store, and then you also get, so you got 2 pixels. One standard pixel that's on your store, plus you also get the secondary pixel that is installed by the app company, okay? Well, what can happen there, doesn't always happen, but happens a lot of times, is they don't interact properly with each other. Facebook, it's weird to Facebook, and it creates double fires, okay? Now, that may not sound like a big deal, right? Double fires, what's the big deal? Well, it creates false data, which makes it harder to analyze your ads. But here's something that can actually happen as well too, is false fires, okay? And that can happen. That's even worse than double fires. False fires means that Facebook will recognize a purchase that's actually not existing. And this really can screw up your ads, okay? Why? Okay? Well, not only does it screw up your retargeting ads, but it screws up all your ads on your ads account. The reason being is because Facebook starts getting data that's not accurate, right? And it starts optimizing based on that data. So there's actually false data that Facebook's optimizing. Yeah, what can happen is your ads stop performing well, and this could actually have a negative effect on your other ads, your normal ads, because the false data is Facebook's using to optimize for. So, given those reasons, I highly recommend against using those. There's an easy solution now to set up your own feed. It's called Pixel Perfect. I suggest you use Pixel Perfect. One thing that's important about Pixel Perfect, when you install Pixel Perfect, right, it's going to ask you for your pixel number. Put the pixel number in Pixel Perfect, and then go into your online store theme preferences and remove the code from your store. Why? Is you don't want that pixel number in there twice. That can cause problems. Even if it's the exact same pixel number, it can cause problems with the data. Does that answer your question, Stefan? By the way, I talk a lot about that in the you're Stefan, I know you're in my course. So the 4 DPA videos they have in the course, I talk in details about that. It's a good question, by the way. It's a good question because a lot of people are tempted to use those retargeting app solutions because they seem easy, but it's not a good idea at all. In fact, it's overall a bad idea. Okay, any other questions? While I am waiting for more questions to come in, let me remind you guys, I got a beta course out there. 14 webinars done, another webinar coming up tomorrow. 42 videos done. There's some reorganization in me doing it, but I mean, even as it is, it's a massive, awesome course. If people are getting value out of it, it's changing people's lives. And when it's finally completed, it's going to be even better. If you want to become a beta member of that course, private message me. If you're interested in my private coaching, I have another private coaching as well. You can get involved in that. You can private message me. So yeah, I'm waiting for messages. And now let's move on to other questions. Any other questions, guys? Let's see what else we got here. Any questions regarding Facebook ads, Ecom, Shopify, product research development, Twitter, Instagram, anything? I'm open to taking any questions. We only had one question today. It was a good question. No more questions? Oh, here we go. On CPC, cost per purchase, on what time frame do I look at? Richard Main is asking for CPC, I think cost per purchase, what time frame do you look at? Well, I'm basically looking, even after a few dollars in ad spend, first at the cost per link click. I know what a good cost per link click is to get good results for my ads in my niche. So that is actually the first thing that I'm looking at immediately, is the cost per link click. So not the cost per purchase. So if the cost per link click is bad out of the gate, I kill it quite quickly. If it's decent, then I keep it going. And then as far as the CPC, I'm looking to be breaking even or better on my ad sets. Breaking even or better. Keep it breaking even as well. Why? Because think about this, guys. Every ad set is also bringing organic traffic and potentially sales, right? So if it's breaking even, you're maybe getting a few organic sales here and there. There's no point in killing that ad. Does that answer your question, Richard? Okay. What do I think about so Steph is asking, what do I think about print-on-demand jewelry? How's the quality of it? As far as I know, the quality is decent. I haven't sold a lot of print-on-demand jewelry, but I haven't heard a lot of negativity about things. I mean, the niche that I'm particularly in is not, jewelry is not a big thing. I did test a couple items, it didn't work out for me. But I don't see anything wrong with doing the print-on-demand jewelry, depending on your niche. No, as far as I'm concerned, it's all good quality. I mean, we're decent enough quality. I mean, maybe not the top of the line, but it's still good quality, from what I understand. Okay. Any other questions? All right, any other questions? There's some good questions though, 3 good questions. Printing down jewelry, about retargeting apps, and how do I judge what are some of the data I looked at to judge my ads out of the gate. Let me repeat what I just did about that. Okay, so how do I judge my ads out of the gate? First thing, in the first few dollars, even the first few dollars in ad spend, I'm looking at the cost per link click. Is it reasonable for me, for my particular niche, for what I know converts to sales, right? Am I getting a good cost per link click? If that's working, that's good. I keep it going. If not, I kill it fast. There's a whole 25-minute video I did on ad analysis and what I do for that. So I mean, I can't really give you everything in here in this short little video like this, but that's basically my system. Then I'm looking for the ad to break even or better. So Lily's asking, yesterday I set up 9 ad sets with a budget of $10 in cat niche. The CPM is 70, 50, CPC is 7. So your CPC was $70, $60, $50, and your cost per link clicks were like $7 or $6. So she's obviously not getting good results. So Lily is saying, if you see her question on this, she's getting very high CPMs. Basically, let me sum up her question. She's getting very high CPMs, and she's getting high cost per link clicks in the cat niche. And she's asking, how do I enter that niche? Well, 2 things. Number 1, create a highly engaging page. People are more likely to buy from you if you have a highly engaging page, and Facebook loves that, and they reward you with better ad performance, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is find an angle on your products which is different. I mean, that's the short answer. If you want the long answer, join my course. And why? Because I'm not joking you, Lily, 4.5 hours of training on product and development and research. 4.5 hours, okay? So the simple version is you need to focus on trying to find an angle for your products that's different than the rest of your competitors. That's the short answer. Okay. Patrick is asking, how many $10 ad sets do you run when scaling, and how do you come up with so many targets? Well, I use, there's 10 different scaling methods that I use. The scaling course in my ads training course, and my ads training portion of my course is over 6 hours long. So obviously I can't give you everything, but you want to break down, you want to search for interest, you want to break down by ages, regions, and etc. And I use Quia to help me with that. That's the simple version of that. Sorry, Peter, I'm not avoiding the question. In fact, I just gave you some good hints. Regions, ages, try to search out interest with Quia. But the thing is, my whole ads training is 6 hours. So in this short little call, I can't give you everything. If you want the full version, private message me and get in my course. I use Quia. By the way, I will say this. I use Quia to help me with that because setting up all those ads manually would just take freaking hours, and my time is valuable. And Quia is the best $150 a month I spend. Okay. Stick around for another question. By the way, I'm not an affiliate of Quia. I make zero, not a dime recommending them. I have no relationship with them. I'm not an owner. I just think it's the greatest Facebook ads app I've ever seen in my entire life. Quia is really rocks. All right. Any more questions? If there are no more questions, I'm going to cut here, but I'll wait just another, say, 30 seconds to a minute for any more questions. Guys, so today we covered a lot of stuff. Retargeting, okay. Quia, Q-W-A-Y-A. Q-W-A-Y-A. Comes with a 2-week free trial. Test it out. It's beautiful. I love that app. You can set up hundreds of variants in minutes, and you can also save templates, which I do, and I can set up 50 ad sets in I'm not joking you, like 2 minutes. I go in there and I pick my ad creative and I start setting it up. It's a great tool. Love that thing. All right, guys, if you're interested in my private coaching or my beta course, private message me. And guys, go back. If you missed this, watch this video. We talked about retargeting, we talked about ad analysis. What else did we talk about? There's a couple other things that we talked about. Let me see if I can go through. I gotta go through the questions. Oh, how to break in, some simple ideas of how to break into a very highly competitive niche. And we talked about jewelry for POD. I'm not gonna go back and repeat all the answers to those questions. You watch the video all over again. And private eventually, if you're interested in my coaching and or my beta course. See you.